Alright, this one's all about rewriting inequalities into slope-intercept form. Just to review, that is y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form. It is named because it tells you the slope right here in front of your x, and it tells you your y-intercept right here, the thing added on after your x, the plus b, so y-intercept. So when I'm looking at this inequality right here, I like where the y is. I see y equals. I know we don't really have the equal sign anymore because these are inequalities, but imagine that's your equal sign right there. So we've got a positive 3y equals. My mx is over here though. So you got two options, shortcut, or you can show all your work in between. So if I want to switch the side, I want to switch the sign. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 8x, positive 12, so plus 12 on this side, and just this positive 3y comes right down. Now, let's not shortcut that then. If I want to get this over there, I need to subtract it to the other side. This is the long way. This is showing all your work. It cancels out from right here. I pull this down right here. 3y is greater than or equal to. And I've just rewritten this into the mx plus b form. So I've put my negative 8x first so that I have mx just like this. And then I've said this is a positive 12, so pushed it down the line. Last step is to get rid of the 3. And if you just want to get rid of a coefficient, you divide by it, because that's 3 times y, so division will get rid of it. So y is greater than or equal to. Simplify this fraction if you can. 3 does not go into 8, so we are just going to leave that as is. So negative 8/3 x plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that is slope-intercept form right there, all ready to go. All right, this next one. I am, again, loving that we've got a y equals right here, but you've got a negative in front. So when you go to switch the side, switch your sign of your negative 4x, so it was positive, becomes a negative as it switched sides, you still got a negative on your y. So right here, as I bring it down, I'm going to write negative 1y, so I know exactly how many of those I have. I'm going to say less than or equal to. I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to start it with the negative 4x that I got from the other side, and then I'm going to push the negative 3 down the line as subtraction, so minus 3. One last step, and here's where we're going different than before. It's an inequality. We're going to divide by negative 1. Does that sound like a familiar rule to you? When you divide an inequality by a negative number, you've got to flip this inequality sign. So the correct answer is y is greater than or equal to, see how it flipped around? A negative over a negative is a positive 4x. A negative over a negative is a positive 3. So again, when you divide by a negative on these, or multiply both sides by a negative, you still flip that inequality just like an equation. All right. Next one. Here we go. Got my y equals mx. I'm going to put that at the top so we can reference it when we need to. Y equals, here it is. I've got negative 2y equals. And no, it's not really equals. Remember, we're just imagining it so that it follows this pattern right here. My 3x, that's a positive 3x, needs to move to the other side. If it needs to switch sides, it needs to switch signs. So it's over there as a negative. So it's gone. I've got my negative 2y coming down. I've got my less than or equal to. And now I've got to rearrange this to say negative 3x. And that's a positive 4, so we're going to push it down the line, so plus 4. Again, if you're a little stuck there, we want it to say mx plus b, so we say mx first, and then say plus b afterwards. Last step, divide by a negative 2. Did you catch it already? It's a negative right here, so when you're dividing by a negative, you have got to switch that inequality around. So here it goes. It's now a greater than or equal to. These are gone. Y, negative over a negative is a positive. Positive over a negative is a negative. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. Final answer. Alright, another one here. How many x's do you have? A lot of people like to put in their Ninja 1 there so that they can see it a little bit better. Now, I've got my positive 3y there. I like it. It is greater than. I don't like this 1x, so switch the side by switching the sign. So you've got negative 1x, positive 6. Again, we just move that down the line. And now we get to divide everything by 3. So y is greater than negative 1 over 3. Leave that as a fraction. We like that. That's rise over run. And then plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. Everything's right there for you. Final answer. All right, I have 2 more for you. Here they are. So, do you know where to get started? We want it to say y equals mx plus b. I've got the y right here next to the inequality. I like it. I keep including this in there because it's a positive 5y. We need to watch out for those negatives showing up like that one. I'm going to rewrite it, but I need to get rid of the 6x to the other side. So when you switch the side, you switch the sign. So here we go. Subtract it to the other side. Gone. And negative 6x minus 5 is left on that side. So start it here, push this down the line. Next step, divide by your 5. That gets rid of just the coefficient, the number in front of the y. So I've got my y is less than or equal to. Can you reduce this fraction right here? And nope, nothing goes into both 5 and 6, so we say negative 6 over 5. We love the fraction, don't change it to a decimal, that is rise over run. We've got our x, and minus 5 divided by 5 is 1. All done. Last example. I'm going to put in my Ninja ones. Helps me out. So when I'm looking at this one, first thing I'm noticing is my y has a negative on it. So I've got negative 1y is less than. If I want to get this 1x to the other side, all I've got to do is switch the sign. Sorry about that bell. So we're going to switch the sign of this. So it's going to be minus. So that's negative 1x plus 0. Push the 0 down the line. You really don't need that 0. I'm going to leave that on for a little bit longer though. Last step, we're going to divide by negative 1. So it's gone. I've got y is, did you say greater than? When we divide by a negative, right, you've got to switch that inequality around. A negative over a negative is a positive, so positive 1 over 1x, so it's rise over run. And then right here we've got 0, kind of scratch through it, that's 0 divided by negative 1. That's still just 0. 0 is neither positive or negative, so just leave it as a plus. If I was going to graph it, I want all of this information right here, right? You want it all. You want to know that it's starting at the origin, that it's going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, just like that. You want to know that's a dashed line, and that you want to know that it's going to be shaded above right there, so greater than. But if you wanted to write this as simply as possible, the best answer would be to write y is greater than. Leave out your Ninja 1, just write x. Leave out that because it's the identity, it doesn't add anything to it. So this is a good answer. This is the best answer. All right, we're done.